This is New Patron Series 83A, Part 1. We're going to ask the question, did Yeshua predict his own resurrection? Chema is Aramaic for anastasis, which is New Testament Greek for English resurrection. It was used during the Hellenistic period to mean an awakening, a rising up, as in Psalm 66.7. Let not the Sorarim, or rebellious ones, exalt, that is, awaken or rise up or exalt themselves. It was used during the first century to mean an awakening after death, as in 1 Corinthians 15:42-44, when Paul says, "So also is the resurrection of the dead." Paul spoke Aramaic, and his concept of the resurrection was that of the Chema. He says the body is sown in corruption, it is raised in incorruption. We will examine what the Jesus of the New Testament is reported to have said about anastasis. Then we will look at what we can actually determine the Yeshua of history might have actually said or implied about the Chema in general, or his own Chema after death. So what did the Jesus of the New Testament say or imply about anastasis? He said in John 11:25-26, "I am the resurrection," which is in Greek the anastasis, "and the life. He that believeth in me, though he were dead, yet he shall live. And whosoever liveth and believeth in me shall never die. For just as the Father gives life to those he resurrects," and that's from the word anastaso, from the dead, "in the same way the Son also gives life to those he wants." And that's again a quote from John. "No one can come to me unless the Father who sent me draws him, and I will raise him up." And that comes from anastaso, "at the last day." That's in John and also in Luke 16 and others. So what did the Yeshua of history, the Jesus of history, say about the Chema? At the resurrection, the Chema, people will neither marry nor be given in marriage. They will be like the angels in heaven. Matthew 22:30 and Luke 20:34. "And I tell you, everyone who acknowledges me before others, the Son of Man will also acknowledge before the angels of God. But whoever denies me before others will be denied before the angels of God." That's in Q and 12:8-9. "Wherever you go, tell the people, the kingdom of heaven is near. Heal those who are sick, and resurrect the dead." And that's from the Hebrew Chema, raise up the dead. Matthew 10, Mark 6, and Luke 9, and others. Did Yeshua predict his own resurrection? The gospel writers thought so. Some sayings from the synoptics and the Gospel of Thomas implied Jesus foretold his own crucifixion, like the parable of the unjust tenants. Because the tenants knew that it was he who was the heir to the vineyard, they seized him and killed him. That's in Gospel of Thomas 65 and all three synoptics. Statements and prophecies about the resurrection and Jesus' own personal resurrection appear in all three synoptics. But those are statements that can be made, of course, after the fact. They also appear in the Gospel of John. Go go to Pre-C number 83B, Part 2, for the rest of the presentation. Thank you.